podcasting from Coney Island Boardwalk in Brooklyn, New York. This is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Those of you in YouTube land, you can see it's the morning as usual. For you guys listening to the podcast, it's a beautiful, nice, chill morning, actually. Not too hot today. Over here, Coney Island, you can see the Wonder Wheel behind me, and you can see the people walking up and down up on the Coney Island Boardwalk, world-famous boardwalk at that. Well, today I want to share something with you today. Not that long ago, I'm driving in Brooklyn, New York on the Bell Parkway. And something happened that made me think of something really, really deep, actually. There's a lot of deep things if you don't get yourself too carried away with things that happen with you every single day. But there's definitely a point to everything I'm saying. On with my story. So I'm going down the Bell Parkway. I believe it will probably be westbound. And there's 3 lanes. So I'm driving in the left lane. I'm doing pretty decent speed, at least 60. And I'm noticing behind me there's a car accelerating very fast. He has to be doing at least 80 or 90 by the rate that I see him and the distance that I'm seeing that he's covering behind me in my rear view mirror. So I said, okay, I see him coming. He's definitely going faster than me. So let me go over to the middle lane. That's the right lane to me. So we have 3 lanes. So right now I'm in the middle lane. So I clear the left lane for the guy who's going to go speed past me any minute now. And to my right, in the right lane, which is the slow lane, there's a New York City bus that's driving, going its regular pace. So I said, okay, let me go over to the right lane. And I know a little bit further down the road, if you could still stick with me, the road is going to merge over from 3 lanes to 2 lanes. So I let this guy go past me. But then as I'm driving, I'm kind of like to the side and to the rear of the bus where I could still see the back of it, but I'm still approaching it on the bus's left side. So what happens now? I'm noticing that the bus seems to be veering over into my lane. So it's coming over from the right lane to the middle lane. And I'm looking as I'm driving, as each set of 10 feet, 20 feet passes, I'm like, is this guy driving over into my lane? I didn't see an indicator on. So I'm like, he can't be. Usually buses put on their indicators, usually. So that's when I come to the realization, like, wait a second, this guy's coming over into my lane. So at the speed that I was going, about 60, I had to slam brakes and hold on to my steering wheel tight so I don't go veering all over the place. Because I know now at this point, the guy who I saw speeding coming up behind me, he's like pretty much right there at that point. So I'm like, wow, let me not turn my wheel left, my wheel right. Because either way, I'm going to go smack into any one of these vehicles, which is not going to be pretty. Going at the speed that this guy's going, speed I'm going, and then it's a big old city bus. So anyways, I come straight to a halt, holding my truck still as much as I possibly can. And then my right side mirror comes slapping in because that hit the side of the bus, actually. And the glass kind of cracked a bit. Now, the guy in the Camaro in my left, he's like right here beside me. And I know for a fact that he sees what's going on. So I actually see him slow down somewhat. And then when I see him slow down, like, I figured out that he knows what's going on. But then he realizes he's in the clear. So in the left lane, he goes taking off, zooming off into the sunset. So now my heart's beating a bit. I'm like, wow, I could have really crash into this bus right here. Anytime you're going decent speed on the road and then you have to draw brakes very hard for whatever reason, your heart's going to beat a bit. So my heart was beating a bit. So I see my window slapped in a little bit. I didn't feel any other impact really. So that was good. So going forward, my heart's still beating. I'm going up against the side of the bus now. I'm on the left of the bus. So I'm expecting the driver to acknowledge in facial expression, either looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? Or what just happened? I see this lady driving the bus and she's just like chilling. She like had no idea what happened. So I'm pretty sure that she probably would have heard my my glass hitting, but at the same time, she's way up in the front and it's a big vehicle making a lot of noise. So unless it was like a dead-on impact, she's not going to know what happened. But the thing is that when it's my head, was like, wait a second, she wasn't even paying attention. Because if she put on her indicator, chances are she would have looked in her mirror to see if someone was there. She didn't look in her mirror, and she did put on the indicator. She just decided that she's going to veer over. Now, the reason why the bus moved over from the right lane to the middle lane is because at that point, which I didn't realize because the bus was blocking my view, 3 lanes turned to 2 lanes at that point. And I'm focusing on this guy passing me, and I'm focusing on not this bus not hitting me. So he goes off into the sunset. I'm passing the bus driver. She's not even paying attention to what's going on. So, okay, it costs about $25 for me to replace just the glass. It's like a little bit of light paint that's on the right side of my truck right now. You're not going to notice it unless you're actually looking for it. So thankfully, it could have been way worse, but this is the point what I'm saying the story for. Had I not decided to move over to the right lane, the middle lane, to let this guy who's apparently going faster go past, because a lot of people, they say, well, I'm in the right, I'm in the left lane, I don't care how slow I'm going, I'm staying put. That's not the law of the road. These are not the laws that coincide with the test that you took. When you got your license, you had to study laws. So a lot of people, they kind of forget what the laws were. So once they're out there in the street with their license, they do whatever they want. You can see for yourself. If you're a driver, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if I said, let me stay in the left lane, let this guy go around me, think of what would have happened. I would have been in the left lane. This guy speeding doing 80, 90 miles an hour wouldn't have had time to stop when the bus, not paying attention, decide to veer over into that lane. So imagine a Camaro going 90 miles an hour into a New York City bus. That wouldn't have been pretty. And then that would have still affected me, because now by him going 80, 90 miles an hour, the bus veering over, it would have slapped right into him and then right into me. So now the bus would have been damaged. She could have been suspended, could have been fired, she could have been through some kind of trauma. The guy in the Camaro could have been in very, very bad shape right now. And me, I'd have been busted up too with my truck, but hopefully no bodily injuries, and the guy would have sent me straight into the divider now, into that side. So my decision to stick to the laws and rules of the road actually helped 2 people out. The point that I'm saying is that when people think about Elohim and his laws and his ways, they think it's antiquated, they think it doesn't apply to them. The problem is that so many people is doing so much things. By you doing what you're supposed to do, you could save yourself a whole lot of damage and trouble and save a lot of other people, even if they are not aware. We have to understand everything is spiritual. And then so much things that happens in the background, things happen around us that either keeps us safe or puts us in trouble. We don't understand the things that's going on behind the scenes. So just by me deciding to do the right thing, I saved 3 of us all types of problems and probably bodily injury, even life that day. So we have to understand we cannot afford to always look to do what we want to do just because we can do it. That's free will and abuse of free will. So we have to understand there's laws there for a reason. When we practice it, the better we are for everybody else. And imagine if everyone practiced the laws that were laid down for us, for moral laws of how to live properly. Anyways, I hope that story was entertaining enough for you. Hopefully, you're happy that Brooklyn Baritone is still here, not bashed up and in the hospital, and my vehicle's at a wreck, because I need that vehicle to get around. Anyways, you could check out all of my content on my website at www.brooklynbaritone.com. You could also check me out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. You can also find me at LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. I'm also on Instagram, there we go, and Facebook. You could also catch my podcast on the Google Play Store and the Apple iTunes Play Store. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for the listens. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for the follows and the support. You will hear from me next week. I want you guys to be blessed. Be safe out there in the streets. Walk good. Talk to you later.